Hello, hi everyone. Good morning. 哎呀，宁茶 Park, 宁茶 Pack, so punctual. Good morning. Oh, we have a friend from Peru. That is, wow, that is great. This live stream is now becoming more and more international, like having people from literally everywhere. Peru 被点名开心啊，那以后多点点你啊，宁茶 Pack。你今天是抢了沙发。There's a saying in Chinese that if you are the first one to be in here or you are the first one to comment, then you're called that you get into the sofa area today. You're in sofa, you're the first one. Yeah, so today our sofa space is given to Ningcha Pack. Okay, all right. I think I'm all set up. Yeah, and just one more thing to go, which is to put on my beautiful earring. Like many people really like this beautiful earring. Yeah, and just for those of you who do not know, this is my personal brand called Alchemia, and yeah, it is our own brand's earrings. Don't you find them beautiful? Having like 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks of like a lot of brainstorm of how to do the marketing, and finally, it's making progress. Yeah, because as a matter of fact, like I was a sales before, but none of the people here in my team were in marketing department has any expertise when it comes to marketing. 哎呀，这个光有点太亮了。好了，这个光好一点。Yeah, nice earring. Thank you, Caesar. Yeah, hi Shashi. Thanks for sending so many likes since the start of the live stream. Yeah, okay, great. Well, you have no ideas. Like every morning, so like I said, that's my live stream usually start from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time. But somehow every morning when I try to set up everything, something just would happen. Like something unexpected would just happen. Like for example, sometime it was the laptop and somehow I could not connect to the internet. Okay, um, because of some problems. 会中文吗？会中文啊，蓝叶，你有没有关注我？关注我的话，我今天多讲点中文。不是洋人，中国人，土生土长中国人啊。Okay, and also for some other days, it's something else. Like for example, today's problem is that my phone is running out of battery, but at the same time, the phone structures I would usually use this thing like to hold the phone, but this one also needs to have some battery, but it's also running out of battery. So yesterday I forgot to charge my phone. Usually I would just put a plug-in USB plug-in to just charge it while I do live stream. And the phone I do not need to charge, but somehow I forgot to charge my phone. So that's why that charger needs to charge my phone, and this thing has no nothing to charge. So I have to find some other things to hold my phone so that I can read your guys' comments at the same time. So every day, something unexpected would just happen. Yeah. Try the modem. No, it's not because of that. Try going through the modem. No, it's not because of that. Well, I cannot say it publicly, so that's a secret why like I can get live stream on other platforms. So yeah, yeah, but somehow that is not considered to be something. You guys get me, okay? Are you from Hong Kong? No, I'm not from Hong Kong, but Caesar, you could take a guess where I am from. Okay, you could take a guess where I am from. Okay, yeah. Hi, Sophie from California. Hi. Uh, hmm. Respect Russia problem. What Russia problem are you referring to? What Russia problem are you referring to? Yeah, yeah. How are you guys? 好的，好的，好的，那就猜一下吧，Caesar. Are you trying to learn Chinese, my friend? I saw you're typing yes and a comment using Chinese. That is great. Yeah. I think Rednote has really upgraded everything because now, usually, like before, whenever you guys tap the screen to send in likes, it will just let me know like someone has tapped the screen, has sent you more than 50 likes, or someone has sent me like more than 100 likes. And now it can tell me exactly how many likes someone has sent me. For example, I saw right now on the screen that No Talk has sent me 392 likes, you know, like so accurate. Like now I can just see like how many times you guys tap the screen to send me likes on red note. It was so funny. So before it was not like that. Before it was like someone just tapped the screen to send the likes. It was like, oh, someone has liked you for 100 times. So and also like one thing I could see from my screen end is I can see in total like how many likes I get in here. Okay. So for example, right now I see it's 986 likes, right? So and also on TT it's like 1.2 thousand likes. Yeah, so that's like something I can see. And it's just like sometimes it's pretty funny. Like there will be followers who, of course, like did not count like how many likes they have sent, and they would say like, "Oh, I have sent over 10,000 likes." I was like, "Oh my god! If you send 10,000 likes, your finger must be so sore." But somehow, like here, I saw like the total likes I get is less than 10,000 likes, but that is like fine. I believe it's just a exaggerated way of saying that I actually sent you a lot of likes. But that's actually very funny. Yeah. 听得好舒服啊，这个口音啊，是吗？佳佳的大学生活，你现在还在大学是吗？嗯，还在大学是吗？You're still in university? Ah, oh my god, I really, really wait. So, how many of you guys have actually thought? So nowadays in China, there is a certain type of TV series that is so popular, which is going back to a time in the history. For example, 叫穿越剧嘛. So I am a modern person, and somehow all of a sudden some accident happened to me, and I was able to go back to, for example, Tang Dynasty or Qing Dynasty or whichever dynasty in an ancient time, and somehow was able to live there. Or like I just somehow relived my life. I was able to get back to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and start everything all over. So those kind of TV drama was like extremely popular around like 10 years ago. I remember, right? 好像差不多10年前的时候，穿越剧是特别火的，是吧？反正就是现在也很火。Now it's still very popular, but there was a specific period of time I remember, like almost every TV drama was about going back. 哦，不对，20年了吧？Almost 20 years. I remember was led by 步步惊心, which is like one of the most heated Chinese drama here in China. 暴露年纪了啊，那是对啊，什么宫啊，什么步步惊心啊，都是这种穿越嘛，对吧？宁茶，Yeah. And somehow, like, I want to see, like, how many of you guys have ever actually imagined yourself to be a time traveler that if you were able to travel back in times to a certain time in the history or a certain time in your life, and you could restart everything. So like for me, I actually sometimes would just daydream like, oh, okay, so say for example, if I could just go back in time, go back to my university years. 姐姐在国外读研吗？你是觉得我现在还在读研吗？佳佳，没那么小哈，佳佳，还是说你问我以前是不是在国外读研？对，我以前在国外读研，对，Yeah. So, Jaja, just so you know that I did my undergrad degree here in Shanghai. I'm from Shanghai, and I was always staying in Shanghai from the moment I was born and all the way to my undergrad degrees. So I did my undergrad degrees in Shanghai Jiao Tong University. And during my university years, I did an exchange program in University of Texas in Austin, UT Austin. Okay, and then after graduation from my university, I later on did a master degree in London School of Economics. After I finished this master degree, I went to Hong Kong to work in the finance industry. Yeah, so that's basically my background. But of course, now I'm an entrepreneur and that right now working on my own startup. So that's the background about myself. Yeah, so I'm actually way older than a postgraduate student. Yeah, so I did have a overseas master degree in some English speaking country, and also have worked inside a very English speaking environment. So when I first started working, I worked like I said, I worked in Hong Kong in one of the biggest investment bank, U.S. American investment bank. So that's why like every day, everyone around me basically speaks lots of English, and also I reply to all the emails using English, and there are many phone calls I must make using speaking English, so there were plenty of opportunities for me to practice my English. So that's the reason why I guess nowadays I can speak pretty good English, and that's also the reason why you find my accent to be quite comfortable. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So guys, follow me please if you haven't done so. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. I saw like a new follower with an extremely handsome profile, which is 小红书 682C. Oh, I'm gonna see his profile. Okay, looks so handsome. Whoa, is that really you? Oh my god! Right. So I saw this guy um whose username is 682C990DD, and his profile, like little profile, so like here unlike you guys, like here on my phone, okay, here on my phone I was able to see everyone's profile photo when you guys sent a message or started following me. So like I would be able to see, like, just judging from your profile photo to tell whether you're female or male. But I know, like, when you guys are in here, you guys don't see the profile photo, right? You guys only see, everyone just type in this, type in that, right? All the comments. So that's why, like, if someone with an extremely interesting, extremely beautiful, extremely handsome kind of profile photo, it just caught me caught my attention immediately. So I saw this guy. So but somehow when I clicked into his profile photo, I noticed that he used his profile photo of this guy who was like, there was a period of time that this guy was like really famous. Somehow I remember, so does anyone know about Coffee Meets Bagel? Coffee Meets Bagel is a very famous dating app, just very much like Tinder, but that Coffee Meets Bagel, did one thing, which is they try to match people who has like shared friends or similar backgrounds to you, so that the rate of success would be higher than just matching you randomly with someone else. So that's what basically Coffee Meets Bagel did. Okay, so every day they would do something. Back then, I remember, is push you several people and you have to pick out of them, and that's the only number of people you're going to be able to pick every day. So there's like every day there's only a number of a limited number of people. If you want to have more, then you have to pay and upgrade your account to pro. That's how you're able to unlock the matching and all the number of matching, and that's how you're able to meet countless people, like as many people as possible. Yeah, so somehow back then I remember when Coffee Meets Bagel was first launched, in order to let people know there is a dating app like that, and there are lots of quality people inside this dating app, so they actually invited a very handsome doctor to somehow be there, and like just he's just gonna tell everyone, like, hey, I'm single, like if you use Coffee Mix Bagel, that's how you're able to match with me. So they use that as a marketing method and marketing, very, very creative marketing strategy. And somehow there's so many people started to download this app called Coffee Meets Bagel because this guy is indeed very attractive. So I saw his profile photo here, like I have this new follower use that guy's profile photo, and when I click into his profile, I saw he also made a post of that. So I'm not so sure if it's really him, but I have to say, like, I do think he's very handsome. Yeah, I do think he's very handsome. How many of you guys have we can only see the names? Yeah, you guys can only see the names, so like it would be hard for you to catch, like go back to find out who that is, because he did not use a like name that's easy to recognize. Like he just basically registered a Retinal account without changing the username. So it's like, oh, a little red note on like blah 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 number. Yeah, yeah. But somehow, okay, I'm like too curious about that. Yeah, I'm gonna first follow him to figure out whether he is really really that guy. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. How many of you guys have used dating app? Oh, I remember back then, like dating app is a really new thing, right? So yesterday we have shared about those kind of matchmaking here in China. There are people, especially like middle-aged ladies, who specifically have this occupation of matchmaking for people, right? And so nowadays, those matchmaking people are, their jobs are taken away by all those dating apps, right? So yesterday someone mentioned about like Tinder, right? And I also mentioned Coffee Meets Bagel, and I also know that there's another app called like Bumble, right? And also, what else? Like here in China, we also have like many our Chinese version of those dating app called Soul or something. Like I remember, like many foreigners would come to this live stream and ask me about like, hey, how can I date someone? How can I find a date here in China? Like, oh, do Chinese people like foreigners? Like, how can I have a romantic kind of dating experience here in China? So one of the answer to that question is using dating app. Okay, so personally, I have used dating app myself. Okay, back then when I was like relatively younger, I used dating app and I was able to date a lot of people thanks to dating app, and that was quite eye opening. Okay, that was quite eye opening. So by using dating app, I was able to meet plenty of people, and just by talking to all of them, it was like pretty eye opening. And there was also some time that I would just meet someone who's like so not fun, and somehow I would play like very mean. Okay, there's a very funny story about myself. I'm gonna share with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys. It was like so funny. Okay, so I'm a very nice person. I'm a very nice person. So sometimes I would like before when I was younger, I would always have this problem of saying no to other people. Okay, now I do not. Okay, now I do not. I'm actually pretty okay to say no to other people if it's against my will. It's if they do something that's making me uncomfortable. But when I was like very young, when I was in my early 20th, like I had this problem. Like I was very nice. I always had this problem of saying no to other people. Is there anyone else who have the same problem as I had before? So like when you were very young, like not very mature, like you were a little bit shy, right? You would feel like, oh, okay. So the fact that I was saying no to this person would probably will make this person feel sad or make him feel unhappy, something like that, right? So I remember, so back then when I was in my early 20th, I was there was one time I went to see an art show, okay, an art exhibition. So there were lots of paintings out there. So I was basically just enjoying my time. I went there alone. Okay, I went there alone just to see this art exhibition. Okay, so there were lots of different paintings in there. So I was just basically, you know, looking at different paintings and try to enjoy all those artworks myself. And what happened is that all of a sudden there was a guy approaching me, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay, hi. My name is blah blah." I don't even remember his name. Okay, and then somehow like he said like, "Hey, can we exchange contact?" Something like that. Well, to be very honest, that guy is quite good looking. Okay, quite good looking. So for if there is any like Chinese people in here, you guys know, like for example, the most handsome guy here in China, lots of people would say is Wu Yanzu, Daniel Wu. So Daniel Wu is also quite famous because he also had also made a lot of he also acted, played in quite some Hollywood movies. I remember. Okay, so for example, he played in one of this 什么古墓丽影啊 how do you say it in English? So he also played in one of those very famous like Hollywood movie, okay, with one of the like top tier actress from Hollywood, something like that. So his name is called Daniel Wu. Okay, so here in China, like we would just call someone handsome. If someone is very handsome, we would just say like, "Oh, you're Daniel Wu," something like that. So we use his name as an adjective. Okay, his name is not a name. His name is an adjective to describe someone who's handsome. Okay, so somehow in Chinese people's perception, Daniel Wu's look is very handsome, right? So the guy who approached me asking for my contact during the time I was watching this art exhibition actually do look like Daniel Wu. So he not only looked like Daniel Wu, he also looked like 那个陈奕迅啊，不是陈奕迅，说错了，那个陈冠希 Edison Chen. Okay, Edison Chen, right? Wait, 陈冠希是不是 Edison Chen 啊 my friend? So Edison Chen, so he has a look that is a mix of 古天乐、陈冠希和吴彦祖. Okay, so he is actually pretty handsome looking. Okay, he's actually pretty handsome looking because he basically looks like the three most handsome guys in China. Okay, and he approached me and asking for my contact. Okay, so somehow like he approached me, and then I was like, oh, okay. So since first of all he was like really good looking, right? So and second of all, like back then in my early 20th, I was a little bit shy and I was not so comfortable to say no to other people. So I felt like, yeah, he was only asking for my contact. Maybe I should just share with it. And that's how I gave him my contact. And then he started to contact me. So we also had a little bit of chat on my phone, right? But to be honest, like I even though I admit I am the kind of person who values deeply on people's look. OK，我确实是外貌协会的啊，用中文讲是说外貌协会的，我绝对是个外貌协会的，我非常承认哈。I admit that I do value people's look a lot. What happened? Okay. Be patient, Paul. Okay, be patient. I'm actually telling you guys the story bit by bit. Okay, so I am actually do into look. Okay, however, Tom Raider 卡言什么意思啊？就是外貌协会叫 Tom Raider 吗？哦，Tomb Raider。Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. Yeah. So Daniel Wu played in Tomb Raider. Okay, played in Tomb Raider. So that is the Chinese actor that played in Tomb Raider. So somehow he also played in one of the most famous kind of Hollywood movie there, right? I remember yeah, the girl who was played in the same movie was like quite popular in here, right? Yeah, 我开始没有理解，不过一现在 get 了，谢谢你啊，分成英一中，OK？ Yeah, and also back to the story, right? So back to the story. And then like even though I do consider myself to be someone who are very into who's very into like good look, right? But somehow that is not something that I'm satisfied alone. Okay, so if someone is like pretty good looking, but after talking to this person you feel like this person does not have anything else to offer, then I will lose interest. Okay, I do have a pretty high criteria when it comes to picking men. So the person has to have both good look and also an interesting soul. Okay, so if I discover that this person is only handsome but has no interesting soul, then I lose interest immediately. So after having several rounds of talk on phone with this guy, I could tell that, okay, 只是有趣的皮囊，没有只是好看的皮囊，却没有有趣的灵魂。Yeah, so I could be able to tell that this guy has only pretty good looking, a pretty good look, because he looked like a combination of Daniel Wu and also Edison Chan and also Gu Tianle. I don't know what his Chinese name, but these three guys are definitely considered to be the most handsome guys, most handsome celebrities here in China. OK，纪瑶有瑶，不好意思啊，No talk 就是这么难搞，咋办呢？就是这么难搞，咋办呢？就真的就是有一个男的真的长得很帅，就是长得就是像古天乐和其实长得最像吴彦祖，吴彦祖加陈冠希加古天乐三个人的结合版。And he's also pretty tall. I remember, so I'm pretty tall, right? I have shared with you guys, like I am 174 centimeters tall. I think he's at least 183, at least 183 centimeters tall. Okay, like pretty tall. So you guys could imagine like a very tall guy and also has a face that looks like the three most handsome guys here in China approaching me and asking for my contact. Like for sure I would give him that, right? But after talking to this guy, I could just tell like something. First of all, I don't think this guy has a good sense of humor. Like he does not, and also I don't think he's like very knowledgeable. And like when I started to talk to him, like I feel like many things I start to share, he could not get it, or the kind of things he shared with me, I just felt like, oh, okay, it's so something like that. So somehow I lost interest in this guy like very soon after several rounds of talk, and I was like playing very cold and sometimes even not replying at all, you know. Because time is precious, right? I have so many things to do and so many other guys that I can chat with, like why this guy specifically, right? But like I have to say, like this guy is like very persistent, like he just constantly contacting me. And also I remember back then I was working in Hong Kong, right? And he was working in Guangzhou, okay, which is another city in China. But then Guangzhou is very close to Hong Kong, okay, very close to Hong Kong, just so you guys know. So back then there was no high-speed rail that travels from Hong Kong directly to Guangzhou. But I mean, if you go by car or by some bus, like it's just like several hours, like you'll be able to go from Guangzhou to Hong Kong. Okay, so it's like pretty close. So like now, if you travel from Guangzhou to Hong Kong, it's basically just 20 minutes, like really close. Okay. So that's why even though he was living in Guangzhou, he would come to Hong Kong from time to time. So every time he come to Hong Kong, then he would just contact me and asking me out. But I do not want to come out with him, right? Because like I said, even though he's very handsome, but I don't have an interest in him. After talking to him and discovered that we don't have how to say a telegram, okay, we don't feel I don't feel connected to him when it comes to like the inner side, okay, the soul, right? So I don't have like a lot of interest in him. And also just so you guys Yeah, connection. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yeah, so just so you guys know that I am also the type of person that has a very strong sixth sense. Okay, chemical. Yeah, yeah. I don't feel the kind of chemistry between me and him. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys, for reminding me of the right word. You guys can tell, like from time to time, if there's some time like I'm running short of the right words, you guys could just definitely remind me in the comment. Okay. Yeah, so just so you guys know that I am not a native English speaker, OK，我不是这个英文母语哈，母语是中文，OK，母语是中文。想知道你在说英文前想问题是中文还是英文，脑子里会有翻译的过程吗？哎，0311这个问题问得很好，OK，I'm gonna have a quick answer to this question before continuing to my story, continuing my story, okay? So there's someone, a Chinese friend, asking me that whenever I speak English, do I think it in English, do I speak in Chinese? Like, do I have a translation process in my brain before I speak? Okay, so to answer that question, it's not like one mode or the other mode. It's a combination of the two. Okay, so for example, if I'm talking about something that's very simple, very easy, for example, if I'm talking the things I'm saying right now, there's no translation process. Basically, my brain is not thinking at all. I'm just basically talking like I'm talking in Chinese. Okay. 就是像现在说一些非常简单的这种话的话，我脑子里边基本上就是也不用想，就直接能用英文说出来。Yeah, I don't need to have a translation process in my brain in order to say everything. Okay, so if it's not a very hard kind of conversation, if it's a very easy conversation, like sharing the story, a very simple story, then for example, the kind of things I'm sharing with you guys right now, the process, like whether I have the translation process in my mind, this topic right now, like I do not to think in my brain a Chinese way of saying it before I tell you guys the English version. Okay, I basically just speak English the same way as I speak Chinese. However, if I'm going to talk about something that's relatively complicated, for example, the other day I was sharing a topic about traditional Chinese medicine and what's the meridians in your body and how to rub your stomach, 仙人柔腹啊等等之类的. Or like for example, I was talking about the love story that I have encountered. Well, actually, that's not considered to be a love story anyhow. So for that, when I was saying that I don't feel there is something, the connection between me and that guy or the chemistry between me and that guy, I was actually literally translating. Okay, so the original sentence in my brain was that，我在想，我想本来想说的是，就是我感觉我跟他之间没有灵魂的契合的这种感觉。Okay, so after thinking about that sentence, then I would then try to translate that into English and say it out. So the moment you start to see me, like for example, if my facial expression was like this, or like when I was like slowing down or start to use a lot of words like like right, and also and starts to say things like these are the moments that I am thinking things in Chinese and translating that into English. Okay, so that is like a combination of two. Okay, that's a combination of two. Okay, yeah, to a quick answer to that question, I'm continue with my story. Okay, I'm gonna continue with my story. And guys, for those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Okay, don't forget to follow me. Do you ever stop talking? Good luck to anyone thinking of marrying you. I'm already married, my friend, unfortunately. Yeah, so I was okay, continue with the story. Okay, just a recap for those one who are new in here. I was sharing about a story about myself, one of my dating experience back then when I was in my early 20th. Okay, when I first started working, I was in Hong Kong and I went to an art exhibition, and inside the art exhibition, some guy approached me and asked me for my contact. And that guy was like so handsome. He looks like a combination of the three most handsome guys here in China. One is Daniel Wu Yanzu. Second one is Edison Chen Guanxi. And third one is Wu Tianle. Not so sure about his English name. Okay. So, and somehow, like, this guy approached me and we exchanged contact and afterwards started talking on the phone. And guys, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. And what I discovered is that this guy, even though he has a pretty good look, he does not have a very interesting soul. So that's why, like, I am the kind of person, according to Chinese way of saying, 是一个既要又要的人，对吧？我既要好看的皮囊，也要有趣的灵魂。Yeah, I want both. I want both. Okay, I want both a good look and also an interesting soul. So if this guy only has a good look and does not have an interesting soul, then I lose interest. Yeah，突然发现现在直播画面更像一个主持台了，是吗？没有怎么变啊，为什么会现在有这个感觉呢？Little Earth，今天喝水就靠你提醒了。我现在每次看到你的名字，我就想到要喝水了。Yeah. So somehow later on, this guy, he I share with you guys, like back then I lived in Hong Kong and he lived in Guangzhou, right? So Guangzhou and Hong Kong were so close to each other, so that's why like he would travel to Hong Kong from time to time. And even though I have played really cold on him, like I was basically literally just already sending signal to him that I was not interested in him at all by replying very slow to his messages, or even do not reply to his messages if I consider that message is not worth replying to. And I think a guy should just get it immediately that if it's a smart guy, then the guy should just get it immediately that I'm not interested in him at all. But I have to say, this guy is very, very, very different in the sense that he's quite perseverant. Okay, quite perseverant. So that's why, like, even though I had such a clear signal to him that I was not interested in him at all, he still like would just every day just contact me and hello, good morning, how are you today, like something like that. And also like every time he was in Hong Kong, then he would just contact me and say, hey, you know what, I'm in Hong Kong right now, do you want to hang out? I want to invite you out for dinner, let's hang out, something like that. He has done it for so many times. Okay, yeah. And guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please if you haven't done so. 没有关注我的宝宝关注一下哈。Okay. And also then, I was also sharing with you guys back then when I was young, I was also the type of girl, I had this problem of saying no to others, right? I feel like I just don't want to make other people feel sad. Then I just am so reluctant to say no to others. So after he tries so hard, why not block him? Howie, that is a little bit too much. Like even today, okay, I have no problem of saying no to people. I would not block him. I would not block him, okay? Well, I guess the only thing, like for example, if it's me now today, then the kind of thing I would do is just tell this person like very directly that, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're my type. I don't think you should waste time on me. I wish you good luck, and I believe that you will find someone nice, but I would not block. Yeah, but the end of the story, okay, I can tell you is I blocked him eventually after what happened later on. Okay, yeah. So like somehow I also had a very I'm very unique in a sense that I had a very strong sixth sense. Okay, I have a very strong sixth sense, a woman's instinct. So I guess the reason is not only because I don't think he has a very interesting soul. I think there's an extra real impression, the kind of feeling that he is not a very decent person. I cannot tell. Okay, 看你聊起来特别忘我的样子，就跟着开心哈。讲故事的时候就会这样，OK？I don't quite remember why, but somehow this person, when I talked to him, I just could tell, for example, the kind of things he said to me does not logically make sense from time to time. Then you would then just tell like maybe something the guy is sharing is a lie, something like that. So that's why like my woman's instinct just tell me that this is not a guy that is a very decent guy. So that's another very important reason. 我不知道他是不是海王，但是我真的就是觉得这个人的给我的感觉不是很好。因为其实慢慢听我讲这个故事哈。Okay, yeah, guys, continue. Let's continue with the story. So somehow I was not so have a very good feeling about this person, and so that's why like I actually was really reluctant of going out with him, right? And somehow later on he have asked me out for so many times. And then somehow, okay, I finally felt like, yeah, maybe I just say yes, like we could just meet, and like maybe in person I could just show him that I'm really not interested in him. Or like if he find out that I'm such a boring person, then he would just lose interest in me completely, something like that. So okay, so I said yes, and I was thinking like, oh, I told him like, oh, I'm working in here, so why don't you just come pick me up in my in the lobby of my office, and I'll just take you to a restaurant. And I also wanted to do one thing, which is I'm gonna pay for the bill of the dinner, right? And I think like just so you guys know that I think if a girl pays for the dinner, that's also a big sign that she's not interested in the guy, right? Is that kind of rules in your country, my friend? So if the girl pays for the bill, that will actually mean that this girl is not interested in this guy. But like here in China, it's like that. Okay, here in China, if a girl pays for the bill of the dinner in a date, that basically means that the girl is not interested in this guy. Okay, so that's what I plan to do. Okay, back then I plan to do that, like just by doing that to let him know that I'm not so interested in him, right? And so okay, I said like, okay, you know what? I have booked a restaurant. Let's go to this restaurant I book. Okay, so and then I would do something like, okay, I would order and we eat, and after eating the dinner, I would just then pay the bill, and then during the dinner, I would just send signals to him and say things in a very subtle way to tell him that I'm not interested in him, right? So somehow he said like, no, no, let's not go to this restaurant. You know, this restaurant is too expensive. Let's go to some other restaurant. And then somehow he brought me to a uh like a pretty cheap restaurant. But that's still fine. I mean, like I'm not the kind of girl like who feels like, oh, we need to date in an expensive restaurant, or you know, I'm okay with dating like a cheap restaurant. That is fine. But the thing is that, okay, the moment we sit down and start to eat, like I seriously find nothing to share with him, like nothing to talk to him, because the kind of topics he shared, like I have no interest at all. Like I was not interested in anything he shared with me at all. And the moment I tried to raise a topic to share with him, and he could not just continue to talk with me, you know, on this topic, right? 那个叫什么？看一下评论啊，不搭理我，你说啥了？你关注我了没啊？你没关注我，我怎么搭理你啊？啊，那个啥，如果是听不懂的话，可以下载一个 APP 叫什么讯飞听见，OK，讯飞听见。然后那个 APP 如果下载完了以后，好像就可以在我讲英文的时候，在屏幕上有中文字幕，这样就可以练英文了，好吗？但是你要先关注我，OK？You have to follow me first. Yeah, OK. There's another person. 别说鸟语，别说鸟语了。这不是鸟语，这是这个世界上面最 official 的一个 language. Yeah, English is one of the most official language here in the world, right? So, it's not 这个不是鸟语哦，OK? Yeah. Let's continue with the story. Okay, somehow later on, okay, we were in this restaurant, right? Yeah, just like let me see who said it. Yeah, just like Li Beika 讲的, just like Rebecca said. Yeah, we're not in the same vibration, right? Same frequency, right? So that's the reason why, like, I just feel like literally like this dinner was so boring that there's nothing like I can share with with you, and there's nothing like you said that really interests me, you know. So somehow like I finally, after having several trial, I gave up completely. So I was basically just eating myself and started to say nothing, and whatever this guy say, I was like, yeah, right. You know, I was like hoping that the time could just pass by quickly so that we can finish the dinner very quickly, and then we could just go back home and call it a night, okay? But somehow this guy, like, oh my god, he ate so slowly. Like I was like eating because I was not speaking at all. So like I was like finishing everything like very quickly. I hope that by finishing everything very quickly, then we could call it a night. We could finish the dinner so soon so that, you know, I could just like say goodbye to this guy and would not meet this guy for the rest of my life. Okay. However, this guy noticed that, and then somehow he just wanted to turn around, and he just ate so slowly. I feel like back then, like we went to like a curry place, and each of us just ordered a plate of curry rice. He's like he's eating every rice, you know. 他好像这个米是一粒一粒吃的，吃的特别特别的慢。当时，哇塞，真的是哦，像章子怡啊，你是第一个说像章子怡的。之前都没有人说像章子怡，有说像各种明星的哈，有说像那个倪妮的，有说像那个范文芳的，有说像管乐的，有说像秦海璐的，有说像舒淇的，但是第一次听说有人说长得像章子怡啊。Okay, 好的 Yeah, you guys could also comment in the comment area, like which Chinese celebrity do I look like? Yeah, which celebrity do I look like? You guys could comment in the comment area. Yeah, 跟着主播练，听你不吃亏。对 Yeah, guys, that's why like you need to follow me. Okay, for those of you who haven't followed me, definitely follow me. Okay, so I'm actually sharing a very interesting story. Okay, so like he was eating so slowly. I was like, oh my god, why are you eating so slow? Like I would just want to finish everything so quickly. And you know what? While he was like eating like so slowly, like a turtle, like eating everything, just like eating every rice, right? It was not a big plate, but he was like eating so slow, like eating little by little. And then the moment but that is still okay, okay? You know, the moment that it was completely 叫什么，我彻底崩溃的这个瞬间哈。The moment that I was completely collapsed, it was the moment when he said that, let's have a dessert after we finish the dinner. Oh my goodness. I'm like, no way. What, a dessert after this? No, definitely no. I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm not gonna go to some other place to have dessert. I think this is fine. I'm already full. I don't need any more dessert. So no, no going to other dessert area. And he's like, he really insists, okay? He like this is something he was like really good at, which is like insisting, right? He was like, no, no, I know there is a perfect that dessert place. They serve the best dessert in Hong Kong. You must have never been there. Like, I'm gonna bring you there. I said, yeah, yeah, I've been to so many dessert places. I think I should have been to your place. Maybe you could just tell me this place and I can tell you where I have been, something like that. And he's like, no, 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 this is a surprise. I don't want to tell you now. Like, just follow me to the dessert place, something like that, you know? So he really insisted. And that's the moment, like in Chinese, like 那就是我崩溃的瞬间，你知道吗？I was like so, oh my god, I was like, no, I just want to go back home the very, very, very next moment. And why are you doing that? Oh my god. Then I stopped talking to this guy, like waiting for him to eat like a turtle. And I started to do one thing which is quite mean. I was started to chat in my friends group. So back then there was a very intimate group of girls, okay? All of us are single. I think altogether there are 5 people inside this chat group. I was just texting, I was saying like, oh sister, you guys have no idea. I was dating this guy. This guy is so, so, so boring. I wanted to just end the date immediately. I wanted to just end this dinner like as soon as possible, just go home. I just could not spend one more minute with this guy. And I said, like, this guy even asked me out for dinner afterwards. And I had told him that I did not want to. Like, he just insisted so much. Something like that. I just complained. I was complaining. And everyone was also like comforting me. And after a few seconds, I received a call from one of the sisters inside the group. So she also happened to be my colleague, okay, back then, but she works in another department. So she called me and because she was not replying to this group, okay, she was not replying to this group. She just called me all of a sudden and she was like, hey, Nytrix, your boss asked you to go back to the office. I'm still in the office, but your boss asked you to go back to the office to make a presentation of something, blah, 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 make a PPT, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? It's Friday night. I'm out on a date and you're telling me that my boss asked me to do this? And I said, no, 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 but there are so many. I know there are people still in the office right now. They should ask them to do it, not me instead. I was like pretty simple and naive back then. I was like really, really simple and naive. But the thing is, Mark, like you guys, when I tell you the story now, you guys would immediately notice that this girl was trying to save me, right? She called me because she wanted to play it for real so that I could act so naturally in front of this guy that I actually do get a call from my office asking me to go back to the office so that I can get rid of this terrible date and get rid of this guy, right? You guys can tell it. But back then, like I was in my early 20s, I was like so simple, so naive kind of girl. I did not know. I seriously, seriously thought it was so funny. The funny part was like I was so, so, so serious that I thought啊，这个男的真的好烦。有一个男的就是一直进来，老是要骂人的，然后每次看到他就要踢到他，真的是有点烦了。Yeah. So somehow, I was not able to tell that this girl was in here to save me, I was like pretty dumb back then. So I thought like seriously there was a work because she did not say anything in the chat group. All the rest of the girls were saying something like trying to comfort me and was like trying to give me suggestions like how to get rid of this guy, something like she did not say anything. And somehow, like all of a sudden, she just called me and said something like, "Your boss asked you back to the office right now. Like there's something very emergent. They have very important client meeting the very next morning, early next morning. So that is why like they need you to make a PPT tonight, right now." And I did not realize that was a strategy to rescue me. I did not realize that's a strategy to rescue me. So I was like so nervous. I was like, why now? It's already 8 9 p.m. in the night, and it's Friday night, right? And I'm out in a date, and you're asking me, you're saying like my boss asked me to go back to the office. But I mean, there are people junior than me. They should be the person to do the presentation, not me, right? Why ask me? Like I'm senior than them. Like you should ask them. Like and my friend is like, yeah, sure, you could call them, contact them. There is anyone who can do this PPT for you, then yeah, they could just do it instead of you. So I seriously called the 2 juniors, like the 2 colleagues who's junior than me, and said like, you know what, the boss is asking you guys to do that, and they were like, they were like, no, no, actually, I seriously cannot do it, and now something like that. They were saying no to me, and I was also like wanted to say no to my friend, but somehow I am the kind of person who has a really strong sense of responsibility. I was like so naive back then, like really, really naive, and I was like, oh my god. So I literally just tried to solve this problem during the middle of this dinner, and I was like texting different people and also checking with my friend, like the colleague friend who was also in my sister chat group, like what kind of the criteria of this presentations, and also try to see what are the ways that I could just make the presentation very quickly, something like that. I literally spent time on that. Okay. So afterwards, I was like, I definitely said, then I was like very naturally just told this guy like, hey, you know what, I cannot just keep on in this dinner. Like, as you could tell that I got this call, a very emergent call from my colleague who said that my boss need this PPT very next morning. So that's why now it's already 9 p.m. So that's why like I just need to return back to the office and finish it as soon as I can, so that tomorrow morning they'll be able to have this presentation for the clients. So I'm so sorry that I could not be in the dinner anymore. So that's how we just call it a night. And then he said something like, you know what, I can wait for you after you finish it. We can continue, something like that. I said, no, I think I'm pretty sure that I need to spend at least 2 hours on it. Then that would be too late, something like that. Okay. Yeah. And then I literally did call for a return to the office. I literally returned back to the office because my girlfriend, my friend who's a girl, right, and inside my girls group, she also told me back in the call that she would send me an email about a very detailed requirement of how to make the presentation. She would send me some materials of that, and I was like, I said, yeah, sure, sure, sure. I said, I'm going back to the office right now. And she's like, she's still putting things up. Okay. She's still drafting this email. And I said, sure, sure, sure. I'm already on the taxi back to the office. And the moment I reach the office, then that's you would have some time to prepare for the materials. And but the moment I reach the office, then I'll be able to see your email. So I did go back to the office. And the moment I went back to the office, I turned on my computer and I still haven't seen any emails sent out by her. And I called her. I said, like, hey, I'm already in the office. I still don't see your email. When do you think is the time you can send me all those materials? Because right now it's already 9:30. Like it's so late, right? I literally cannot sleep at night to finish this PPT. And she was like, seriously? Did you go back to the office? Really? I was like, yeah, you told me like my boss asked me to do this presentation and like there's no one else who could do it, right? I checked with everyone, nobody was able to help on that though. So that's why like I was in here back to the office. She was like, oh my god, sister, I was trying to rescue you. And I was like, oh my god, oh really? So first of all, I was so relieved at the moment. I was like really relieved that first of all there was like no PPT at all I need to make for the night. And second thing, I start to realize, okay, oh, thank you, my sister. You saved me from this this dinner. And I was like, oh my god. Then I was like, why didn't you tell me that you're actually faking it? Why don't you just tell me that, you know, why don't you just tell me that you were just playing with me, right? It was not a real thing. And she said that, but I mean, the kind of answer she gave me was also making so much sense because she was saying that well, I just want to play a real, right? If I said it's a fake, then you might have a fake expression, something like I thought you were just playing it for real. And she said like when she was calling me and the kind of response I gave her, she felt like I am such a pro, she said like was such a pro. She was saying that, oh my god, you're like a she told me that the moment back then when she called me and the kind of response I was like, what? Now it's like 9 p.m. and you're asking me like you're saying like my boss, like why didn't they tell me in the more earlier this morning? And I'm also in the middle of a day, like you're asking me to go back to the office. That doesn't really make sense. There are so many other people who are junior than me who could do that. Why they asked me to do it? Something like that. And she was like, oh my god, like back then when I was on the call and I hear how you replied to me, I was thinking like you're such a pro. I mean, like you played so well. Like she was thinking like if she were the guy, like for sure she would not think that it's fake, it's real. But the truth is I thought it was real. So that's why I returned to the office and I did everything right. Yeah. Oh, it was so funny, such a funny story. Yeah. 啊，听不懂你在说什么啊红气球。那个再说一个关于我自己一个很搞笑的故事哈。那个如果听不懂的话，可以下载一个 APP 叫讯飞听见，这个是之前其他粉丝推荐的，说把这个下完以后，我讲英文的时候就会有中文字幕在这个上面出来。啊，因为很多人会来这个直播间练英文听力，想不好呀。后来嘞，哎呦，丽贝卡已经后来嘞呀。OK，好，我来跟你继续往讲下去哈，这个故事。And afterwards, what happened is, okay, so I returned back to my home, right? For sure, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the evening, right? So happily enjoy the rest of the evening. I have no other extra work to do, right? And also I successfully got rid of this guy that I am not interested at all. Yeah, she definitely saved me. Definitely 100% saved me. Yeah. And then somehow and like when it's like 11 p.m or something that this guy started to text me, he texts me and asking me how was the work, and I was definitely say like, oh yeah, the work is pretty done. Yeah, it's not a very hard work. I got it finished. Thank you for asking. That's all right. I was trying to be really really polite. And then he was like, you know what, I want you to do me a favor. Is it possible that you do me a favor? He says something like, you know what, it's already 11 30 11 something. It's pretty late at the moment he texts me, and he was saying that, you know what, there's no bus to go back to Guangzhou, and I have no place to live. Can I actually live in your apartment? It's fine that I could just live in your living room, lie on the sofa and spend the night. I told him, I would say that, oh, no, I have a very small apartment. I'm pretty sure I could not invite you over. This apartment is only enough for me myself, not enough for two people. And he like, no, it's fine, as long as there's a space that I could lie down on the floor, that's enough for me. I do not need to have a room or something. I just need a sofa, I just need a floor, I could lie down, that's all, because right now there's no bus to go back to Guangzhou, and I couldn't find any place to live. I was like, there are plenty of hotels out there, right? You could live in hotels, right? And also, like, somehow it was not definitely not the first time you come to Hong Kong. You have been in here like for so many times, right? And then he was like insisting on that. Like I said, I have said like very directly and very clearly that it's an absolutely no. And then I said like after several rounds, like, 哎呀，我真的觉得自己那个时候真的很蠢啊。Yeah, thinking back now, I seriously thought like it was pretty naive, pretty stupid. I would even call myself like stupid like back then, right? I was like, well, why should I just waste any more? Like, given my current personality, right? Given who I am, like a lot more mature right now, like at the moment I discovered that, I definitely would just stop talking to him. But back then was my early 20th, right? I was like being so polite, and I was still like try to, a little bit entertain him. I was like, something他那个小奈闭上，不要再打广告了哈，这个评论区别再来打广告了哈，谢谢你，已经打了2次广告了，OK 可以了，好，后面接着不要再打广告了，好吗？不好意思。Okay, and then yeah, I was so young and so inexperienced, and then somehow like I was telling him, something like, yeah, both of us are adults. Well, if I allow you to come to my apartment, both of us are crystal clear about what would happen next, right? But that is not something that I want. And that's why like I will not allow you, or I will not invite you over to spend the night in my apartment. You have to figure out the way to spend your night in Hong Kong. Like I said, I mean, like how more direct could it be? This is already so direct, right? I could not imagine another like more direct way of saying that. I have already said like so clearly that I know that the reason why you want to spend the night in my apartment is because you want to sleep with me, and I'm not willing to sleep with you, so that's why I will not allow you to come back to my room, to my apartment, and you have to figure out how to spend the night yourself. I was like so crystal clear, right? It was like so direct. You were in the second stage of understanding love, no stupid. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I was so clear. There's no more direct way of saying that. I said it so directly, and still this guy was like, "Oh, no, you mistook me. I was not saying that. I was just basically saying that I need to spend the night in the place, and I could not find the place. That's why like I'm asking to stay in your living room." You know, that's the moment I blocked him completely and did not let this guy to continue to talk to him, to talk to me. Okay, so that's the moment I blocked him, because that moment was the moment that I clearly saw, okay, so his intention of approaching me, then I can tell, where's the guy from? From Guangzhou, Guangzhou, okay. So I immediately tell, okay, so I think like Rebecca said, like if he's a 海王, right? 我觉得真的是有可能的. Okay, so then I start to rethink about the whole process. Okay, rethink about the process, right? I think now his purpose, I think, of approaching me is never really maybe interested in me. Maybe yes, interested in me, but I think he picked the target. I'm like the prey. Okay, he's like the hunter. I'm like his prey. He picked me as a prey. So first of all, so we met in where? We met in the art exhibition. Okay, so who would go to an art exhibition? So if you yourself is not a person with something inside, then you will not go to an art exhibition. So art exhibition is a very good place to pick up girls who might who are like well educated and probably has some money, right? And also quite intelligent, you know. So the kind of girls that would go to art exhibition is, relatively speaking, maybe has a higher chance to be high quality, right? And those kind of materialistic kind of perspective saying, right? So that's why, like, so that's a kind of occasion that we met. And to be very honest with you guys, after really talking to this guy, after several rounds of interaction, I could very, very clearly tell, after rethinking about the whole process, right? This guy for sure is not someone who's interested in art at all. He definitely is not someone who is interested in art. Okay, like I said, like if he's interested in art, then we would have at least something to talk about, right? There's nothing for us to talk about. Literally, 就是在整个沟通的过程 when during our communication, no matter it's on the phone or it's like in person, I have tried various topics and there's nothing that we could just talk, right? So like for sure this guy is not interested in art at all. So the purpose of him going to an art exhibition is questionable. Does it make sense, my friend? Does it make sense? Okay, type one, if you think it makes sense, right? I'm trying to analyze. I think like after rethinking the process, I think this person is actually a scammer. Okay, I think he's a scammer. Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to analyze. I'm trying to deducting everything. Okay, yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's there just to hunt for someone. But yeah, he went there to hunt, exactly like you said. He went there to hunt, right? So somehow he saw like I was alone. I was not with someone else, and somehow, well, the fact that I was there alone probably means that I'm single. So compared to others, like I have a higher chance that I'm single. So that's why I'm going there alone, right? So that's why like he approached me, right? And one of the advantage he had is like he's pretty good looking, he's pretty handsome, like I said. So that's why like Paul, you were saying, wow, very wise. Yeah, Babe Hunter, exactly. So that's why he came to those kind of you know, place to hunt for girls, and that's why I became his target prey, and he hunted for me, right? And also later on, after chatting, and I also invited him downstairs to, so oh my god, this whole analyzing process like very interesting, yeah. So I told you guys, I shared with you guys, right, when back then in Hong Kong I work in one of the most prestigious investment bank, right? And then so I said like, why don't you just pick me up in the lobby of my office? Then he immediately got to know which office I work at, which company I work at. That's a pretty prestigious kind of bank, right? For people who work inside that bank, definitely does have a very decent salary, right? So that's the second thing. So he got that. And of course, like so that's in the most central area of Hong Kong, right? In central, right? The place itself is called Central. Okay, so I work in central of Hong Kong. So the restaurants in central are all like usually just a very expensive restaurant. So I asked him out. I've been inviting him to one of the expensive restaurants because I thought like maybe if I pay for the bill, I invite you to a very expensive restaurant and pay for the bill. Like I was so naive. I seriously don't think this guy is worth that, right? But I was like really kind, so I did that, right? And somehow then this guy would immediately get that I have no interest in him. I actually did it in a very polite way 啊，我觉得请这个人吃一顿饭，这个饭如果还是相对而言没有这么便宜的，那这个人应该就能够明白这个意思了，对吧？And then somehow, like after seeing that I'm going to bring him to this very expensive restaurant, he did not realize that I would be paying. He did not know that I would be paying. He immediately said, "No, no, we're not going to this expensive restaurant. We need to go to some small and cheap restaurant." He's not even willing to pay, he's not willing to invest when he wanted to hunt for a prey. something like that. And somehow that's why like we later on changed to another restaurant, which is fine. I mean, like, just go to that small restaurant. That is fine, right? I feel like, yeah, because well, I'm pretty okay with this person who's like very interesting. Like, no matter what restaurant we go to, that is fine, right? But the thing is, like, seriously, this person has like nothing to offer, right? And then what happened later on in the night is that he just continuously asking to stay at my home. Then, well, I seriously thought, like, to be very honest, like, well, I'm very glad I was not that stupid. Like, I was not that naive. I was like really really naive to a point that I did imagine, I did believe in him. I really really seriously invited him over to stay at my home. I'm pretty sure this guy would probably rape me. There's a very high chance that he would probably just rape me. Because when it's inside my apartment, when the door was closed, like nothing you could control. There's no camera in my home back then, right? And like basically he could just do anything to me, right? So 对，太可怕了这个人，我也觉得。然后后来，so that's why like from that moment I blocked him. So I feel like, oh, okay. So that actually tells several things. Like I do have a very strong sixth sense. I do have a very strong like woman's instinct, right? So like the very first moment, like I said before, right? When I started talking to this guy, I do have the kind of gut feeling that I felt like this person is not like very honest person. If this person is not an honest person, then this person is not a decent person, right? So when I talk to this person, well, I consider myself to be a pretty logical person. The kind of thing I say and comes to the second conclusion, everything is pretty logical. So whenever I have a very logical structure in my brain, I could also judge whether the person who's telling me many things it does make sense or not, right? If this person is saying anything that's not making sense, then I have this kind of. So back then, when I was in my early 20th, maybe I was not having this kind of a really structured mind I have right now, right? I did not know that I was analyzing. Like right now, when I hear someone talking to me, then I would analyze, and I do know that I'm analyzing. So I do know that I have this analyzing kind of process in my brain, right? But somehow back then, I did not realize that I was analyzing, but somehow my brain was analyzing. So the kind of thing this guy said to me, I did not know I was analyzing. I basically just had this intuition that this guy might have something wrong, right? For example, right now I probably could I could actually just tell, right? Okay, you said that, but if you are doing this, there's no way for you to do that, right? Back then I do not have a very clear loop when it comes to, oh, A does not comes to B, something like that. But I just tell, there's something wrong with the kind of things he's sharing with me. So for sure there's must something that he must be lying. So the kind of intuition I had, the kind of instinct that told me back then was like, this person is not an honest person. So if this person is not an honest person, then this is not the kind of person I should date and spend time. And also something like, I feel like no matter I started to talk about, like for example, in this live stream room, I would share lots of different topics, right? For example, if I share about history, there are lots of people would then started to talk about history with me in the comments area, right? I share about the Chinese history, then some people would then ask question that you well, it's okay if you don't know about it, but like you could just be interested in knowing more about it and start to learn. You enjoy the process of learning, right? That could also be a very interesting conversation, right? Or like if there's something I do not know, I ask you, you know about, you share with me, that's also very interesting. Or there's something that I know and we could start to share our opinions, right? So that's why I do enjoy doing this live stream, and that's why I have said multiple times that I do consider the crowd in here to be really high quality, because whenever we start to talk about some topic that is considered to be quite deep or require some knowledge, like I learn a lot from you guys, and you guys are also very interactive when it comes to discussing. So like with that guy, there was nothing like that. There was nothing like, oh, okay, I share something, he would be like very interested in knowing more about it. Like for example, if I started to share something about history, about psychology, about anything, literally, and philosophy, like anything, like he was not able to just pick it up and started to share his opinion. Or like if he does not know anything, that is still fine, right? But if you meet someone like who feel a little bit of chemistry, at least this person would start to ask the question like, oh yeah, that is a very interesting, can you tell me a little bit more about that, something like that. He clearly showed the sign that he's not interested in any of the topics that I shared with him. Okay, So you guys, for those of you who are my old followers who has been in the live stream for such a long time, you know what are the topics that I'm interested in and what are the things I can share with you. So I consider myself to be a quite talkative person, right? And there are so many things I can share with you guys that basically also means that I have tried really hard on this person. I have shared lots of the kind of things with him, but no matter what kind of topics I share, this guy was not able to pick it up and just continue to talk to me. So the problem was more like, we were not a good match, right? For clear and obvious reasons. And later on, I realized, okay, the reason why this guy approached me was either he wants to just sleep with me, or he just wants to find a girlfriend who is richer than him and was able to spend money for him. In a sense, I do think he's a scammer, a douchebag. So that's why, like, I feel really lucky that nothing went on later. Yeah. So throughout my entire dating life, I very rarely met douchebag or Jana. Okay, we have sent Jana multiple times. Like it's that was the only person. That's also a pretty memorable one. Okay, that was a pretty memorable one. And somehow, OK，我要这个郑重的说一次了哈，就是如果有人我刚才已经提醒了2次了哈，如果有人在这个直播间里边啊还要继续打广告，说多少块钱是多少个什么鼠币的这种广告的话，我看到会直接踢出去，好吗？我刚才已经说过2遍了，不要打广告，好吗？不要打广告，我的直播间不是用来打广告的，非常欢迎大家可以非常有趣的去互动。但是如果你要是打这样的广告的话，我觉得这是你打个1次广告没问题，OK，我觉得这个大家做生意也很难，但是像这样的发个3次4次的，这个绝对不行，好吗？如果这样子下去的话，我看一个踢一个了，好吗？OK，Yeah，I was telling people, so I saw there are people in here to do advertisement, so it's okay if you do the advertisement for one time, right? I know nowadays it's hard to do business. People just try all sorts of ways to do business, but I mean, like, you're just basically in this common area, like doing advertisement for multiple times, like many times, then like for more than 3 times, then that is not okay. So I was like really polite when I saw this person sending in this advertisement message for twice. I was really polite, but now I have to be not so polite. I was just literally have to be very serious and telling people that if you're in my live stream, if you are making advertisement and writing advertisement in the comment area, for once that is okay. Okay, I'm okay. I'm fine with people sending advertisement in the comment area for just once. Okay, but if you're like repeatedly sending advertisement in this comment area, then that is not fine. Okay, that is not fine. Okay. 我自己的品牌我都没打广告了，你在我的评论区里边打你自己的广告，打1次嘛够了，打这么多次，可以吗？I was literally saying that I have my own startup, my own brands, right? I was not even making advertisement for my own brands in my live stream. And now you're doing that for me. You're not doing that for yourself in my comment area for such a long time. 如果想打广告，你自己去开一个直播间，就去打你自己的广告就好了嘛，对不对？It's pretty annoying, right? Okay, yeah. Somehow, yeah. So, yeah. Let me see. What's the question? Yeah. So, what do you do? Like, I am an entrepreneur, so I'm working on my own startup. So one of the startup projects I did is accessory cross border e-commerce right now. So e-commerce on other foreign platforms and also on Rednote as well. So that is one of the project I do. 我的品牌叫 Alchemia，如果去看我的小清单你可以去看我的小清单，这个是我现在正在做的一个视频的品牌。其实最主要是想要做跨境电商。So actually, I wanted to do cross-border e-commerce because that's the major trend right now, right? Yeah, this is my own brand, okay? Yeah, you guys could go to my curation list, 我的小清单, or go to my bio, and that's where you'll be able to see my store, okay? That's you're able to see my store, okay? Yeah, so this is the first category we will start with, and later on we will expand to other categories. It was very interesting process to be an entrepreneur because like I'm literally learning new things every single day. I was sharing with people at the beginning of this live stream that we are literally making progress. So like we have finished. So I actually just literally started everything from scratch. Okay, from scratch. I was not doing it before. This was my very first time doing cross-border e-commerce, and I started doing it literally just like 2-3 months ago. Okay, started from scratch. Okay, started from scratch, knew nothing about this business at all. and then I was able to build a lot of things for the past 2 to 3 months, like started from okay sourcing the kind of factories that could manufacture those accessories, and then also later on how to set up a company, and also how to open up a store, and also how to set up a standalone website for ourselves, like everything, and also figure out the logistics. And the final step right now is about the marketing. But the good news to all of you guys, we're making progress in marketing. We have tried all sorts of ways of marketing. And previously, every time was fail, 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 fail. But recently, we started to see progress. We started to see breakthroughs. We have tried like multiple ways. Like, what are the ways to A methods of marketing, B methods of marketing, but somehow none of the marketing campaigns was able to generate any of the results, any of the sales, until literally 2 days ago. Okay, 2 days ago, we started to see sign of sales, start to finally figure out, okay, so what is the right way of doing marketing to boost sales? And we have finally found a breakthrough when it comes to marketing. So if we are able to just wait for a few more time, a little more time, okay, just wait for a little more time. Maybe by next month, that we should just run everything smoothly already, like from 0 to 1. And if everything is run very smoothly, we have already figured out what is the most efficient way. Then what we can do is AI, AI lies everything. Okay, so make every like many things like automatically done, not by human beings. Okay, not manually, but automatically. So we can release more manpower to start to expand the market or expand the category. So that's how we are able to build cross-border e-commerce business from just one category to many categories. Yeah, so definitely making progress. Okay, definitely making progress every single day. Yeah, guys, follow me, please. Okay. 就是确实现在在慢慢的去那个，就之前真的是做这个营销，因为我们整个团队里边是没有这个以前做营销做的特别专的人的，所以大家就是很努力的在学，但是大家都有非常强的学习能力。I feel like people in my team are all pretty have a pretty steep learning curve. Like all of us have a very steep learning curve, and all of us are really hardworking, and we are pretty perseverant also. Like that's why, like, oh, okay, if this one is not working, then we're gonna be very quickly switch to another way of trying it, and just do everything, try all different kind of things quickly, quickly, quickly until we are able to find a breakthrough point. And right now, I am very happy to announce that we sort of, I think, we were able to find some secret sauce and was trying to make some breakthrough. Yeah. So maybe by next month, we'll start to see a very healthy cash flow. Yeah, 我觉得下个月真的是有可能开始可以看到非常健康的现金流了。Yeah, I'm really proud of me and very proud of my team, because only within 2-3 months of time, right, we were able to build a new business, like literally from scratch. Like, was so proud of myself and my team. Do you need any investments? Okay, yeah. Well, of course, like investment is good, but right now we are not going out for financing. Is because like I have been out trying to finance before, but I noticed that now it's not a very good environment. So like I would talk to different investors, but somehow like people just want to see your positive cash flow before they make the write the check, make the investment. 我觉得就是我之前尝试过去融资，I tried like going out and financing. Like I spent lots of time making the presentations and tell people about my business ideas and what are the things that we would do and how excellent this team are and how experienced people are. And somehow like they still want to see you at least get some results, right? They want to see you to have already have a very healthy cash flow. And that's not a little cash flow, that's like a very decent amount of cash flow. That's the moment they started to invest in you. So that's why like right now I feel like maybe I should just focus on building the business right rather than just going out and financing. Cake is offering. Oh, really? Cake, are you offering to invest in me in our business? Yeah, if that's the case, then of course I welcome. I welcome that. Yeah, if there is anyone, any investor in this live stream room, if you want to invest in my business, yes, please. I welcome that. I welcome that. Yeah. How to present your business idea？ 哦，人气票了。OK，好的，行，那个我先稍微打一波广告哈，Christy， 这个是一个非常好的问题，我一会儿来回答你的问题哈。没问题，I'll check it out. Yeah, sure, Cake. Yeah. So guys, it's almost 9 a.m. It's almost 9 a.m. So guys, it's time to do one thing, which is for those of you who haven't followed me, follow me. And for those of you who haven't tapped the screen to sending likes, just keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. Okay, everyone, I want you to tap the screen for more than 500 times to send me 500 likes. Okay, I can see here right now. So Redno has upgraded this feature. So I could tell like how many likes you guys could send me. Okay, so for example, I remember earlier this day, No Talk has sent me 396 likes. So just keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Okay, so first of all, for those of you who haven't followed me, you're in here, just definitely follow me. And second, keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Okay, everyone, more than 500 likes. And also, if possible, you could also tap the screen down here. There is a button in Redno that is looks like a leaf. Okay, 看上去有个像小叶子的一个按钮 and that is an interaction button. Okay, 是一个互动的按钮. And for that button, if you press it, that's how you're able to join my team. You could either join my team, 你可以加我粉丝团 OK 加我粉丝团 or you could send me this yellow tickets, 这个黄色的小票叫做人气票 OK, that is called yellow ticket. That is called 人气票 OK, so by sending me those yellow ticket, that is how you're able to boost my ranking. Okay, ranking. So I believe today's ranking is not very high. So I saw people are trying really hard by tapping the screen and sending me those yellow tickets, but somehow like I was not even on the ranking list. 我靠，我都没有上人气榜，前两天至少能上人气榜，今天感觉都上不了人气榜。Yeah, maybe it's Saturday, so it was like extra hard. It's extra hard. Okay, yeah. So guys, just try your best. Okay, but that's we're gonna play with a very Buddhist mind today. 今天稍微佛系一点，今天可能竞争比较激烈哈。So I believe today can be a bit more competitive because it's Saturday, so there are more people doing live stream at this period of time than usual. So maybe there's a a smaller chance to get onto the ranking table. So for those of you who are new in here, just keep on tapping the screen to sending likes, and also for those of you who haven't follow me please. Okay, yeah. 好吧，谢谢啊。那个，我觉得今天可能上人气榜稍微有点难，就不强求大家了。因为之前的话，每次都至少能看到自己在排到第几名，那么大家刷一刷就能够上去。但今天好像有点难，所以哎呀，不强求了，大家就尽力就好了，帮帮忙就好了，好吧？谢谢大家。Thank you so much for those of your those of the friends who are just keep on tapping the screen to send in likes and also joined my team and also send those yellow tickets. And thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, so back to Christy Little C's question, which so she asked me about like how to make investor pitch, right? Okay, investor pitch. So there is okay. I'm gonna answer this. That's actually a pretty big question. I actually just talk to you for over an hour about it. But in short, okay, there are two things you need to do. First of all, you need to come up with a good story, okay? A story that tells investors. So you have to first of all understand like why investor wants to invest in your business. Investor wants to invest in your business because they wants to make money from your business. They are not philanthropist. They're not philanthropists. So that's why they want to make money. They will not invest in you if you only tell a story that how great your business is without telling them how much money, how many times of the return that they'll be able to generate by investing in you in what period of time. Okay. So that's something like you need to first bear in mind. So that's why, like, when you come up with a business idea, it's so important that you have to do a very detailed market analysis. Like, who is your target customer? Okay, because I do have like several rounds of entrepreneurial experience, I know that it's very important to find a niche market. Don't target the broad market. So it may sound like a lot better, like, oh, if I can sell this product to everyone, then then I can like have a big market, right? But that doesn't work that way. So you have to be like really niche. Today is all about a niche market. So it's very important that you need to first of all target a very niche market and then start to study what's the competition, what's the overall, first of all, what's the overall size of the market. So say for example, if the overall size of the market itself is like too small, like even though you're able to eat a big chunk of it, most likely when you first begin, you're not able to eat a big chunk of it. Not to mention that if this market itself is pretty small, then it will sound like not very interesting to investors. So First of all, definitely target a market that has a lot of potential. So if you could prove to the investor the story itself, you could prove to the investor that the market is this niche market has not been touched by too many. It's a very big market, and you'll be able to just get a lot of share out of this big market in how much time, and why you yourself are the kind of person, are the kind of team that can achieve the kind of results. That is then why, unique selling proposition, exactly. So that is why like investor would want to invest in you. Okay, what are you talking about? Answering Christy Littlesy's question is, which is how to do an investment pitch. Okay, so that's why when it comes to investor pitch, the very first part of the presentation, oh, good luck, I think you are hardworking and have good energy, thank you, Cake. Yeah, so that's why when it comes to investor pitch, the front part, the beginning part, is always about telling the kind of problem, what kind of problem I am solving, why this is the problem that's worth solving, why is this problem that has a big market. Okay, so that's usually the beginning. Like I have to first tell the investor that this is my story. Okay, so this is very big problem that lots of people are facing. So if I can tap in to solve this problem, or this is the product everyone is looking for, if I can provide this product to meet people's needs, there's a very niche market that's looking for that, and that has like really big market potential, business opportunities, then I'm also almost like halfway there. Okay, I'm almost halfway there. So the next part is about like, what am I able to offer? Okay, what am I able to offer? First part is, why is this a problem that's worth solving? And the second part is like, what are the products I am able to offer to solve this problem? And what's so unique about my products, right? What is my unique selling point? Like you said, what is so given this problem, so anyone can solve this problem, right? But why am I able to solve it? What's something so unique about my products that makes myself stand out in this market competition, and I'm able to just solve this problem? Okay, so somehow that's the second part, and the third part is about your team, right? Or like sometimes people will just write in the third part, which is perspective, a projection. Okay, a projection. Yeah, first problem and second solution, third is projection. Okay, so what's my plan of doing it? Third is, what's my plan of doing it? And if I am able to do it within 3 years time, in 5 years time, what's are the business going to be like? And that is how much return you as an investor will get from my business. Okay, if I by investing in my business. Okay, so that's the third part you could do in your investor pitch, and the fourth part. So usually, sometimes like fourth part and fourth part will just replace each other. When it comes to sequence, really depends on your own personal preference. Okay, how do you feel more comfortable about talking about it, right? So, for example, the fourth part would then be about introducing about the team. Okay, why are you guys able to do it? Okay, so you have talked about this is a big market, and you also have talked about like the great solution, why the solution is so unique, right? You have also shared with the investor, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So what I am about to do in order to realize everything I just said, and what's the plan, what's the projection, right? And how many years of time, the size of business that I will grow, like that's the third part. And after that, the final thing comes like, why I and my team are able to finish all the thing, like why we are able to build this product and will be able to reach the projection, the target that we are sharing with you. So that's the final step, okay? Telling a bit more about the team. So you could share about the background of the team and also the track record of the team, right? For example, if you guys are a serial entrepreneurial team, you could also share what are the things that you have built in the past, what kind of achievements that you have obtained in the past, right? So in the end, with a page of summary of all the key highlights of the entire presentation, just list out the kind of things that are the most eye-catching. The list out last page is the kind of page that you just want the investor to remember. You know, if they gonna, because you have to know, like for those kind of professional investor, they just see so many pitches every single day. They got pitched by so many people every single day. So if that's why, like if they, you just want them to remember something when you walk away, right, from this presentation. You want them to still remember you instead of someone else, right? So that's why usually it's better if you on the last page of your presentation you list out something that is most unique about your projects. Usually it's data. Okay, 最好是一些数据，因为数据是 最能够让人记得住的嘛。And then that's the last page. Then thank you, Q&A. That's all. That's the entire structure of the, investor pitch. Yeah. Okay, Christy, let us see. Is it does it make sense? Yeah, does it make sense? Yeah. Do I answer your question really well? Yeah. Do you get it now? If you have any questions, just keep sending it in the comment. Okay. What's the site again? Paul X. Just could go to my bio. Go to my bio. So this is our website. Can you see it? Let me find a paper. This is our website. Yeah, this is our website. Wait, should we do this? This is my own website. Okay. Yeah, this is my own website. Yeah. Right. So this is the thing that we're working on right now. Oh, it should be taller. Okay. Yeah. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? Yeah, so that is my website, okay? Yeah, 是的，这个是我们现在创业。So this is the business we were able to build within just 2-3 months time. Okay, that was the business that we were able to build within 2 to 3 months of time. Yeah, so of course, if you guys could be a little bit supportive by just place some orders. So we also have a TikTok shop and also a Reno shop. Okay，在小红书上面也开了店，在 TikTok 上面也开了店。So 网站发粉丝群上哦，好呀，行啊。那个，但是网站上面目前那个网站上面是只支持在外国下的，在美国下单的，所以中国宝宝可以去看我小红书的店，可以去看我的小清单，小清单那边的品就是我们自己的店。OK，Yeah，so 对我可以也可以发到粉丝群里面，大家可以看一下，大家可以支持一下哈，稍微支持一下呀。当然也不强求大家啊，我们还是希望能够把这个品卖给目标客户群体。Yeah, so well, it'd be great if you guys could just give some support. If there's anything like you think it's very nice and you like it, could place the order. But that's definitely not compulsory. I do want to sell this products to our target clients. Yeah, there are TV shows called Shark Tank and Dragon Den Pitch Investment. Oh, so are you talking about this kind of show where there are like three investors and they just sit there and listen to different people come over and pitch their products? 小清单只有4个品，对我好像没有挂太多的品，你可以就是反正那个小清单里边这个品的这个店，你可以直接去到这个店里边，那这个店就是里边有很多很多东西了啊。不过如果这个是一个问题的话，我可以之后把我小清单里边的各种各样的这个品都挂进去，对。但是我之后可能也会挂其他的品。So going forward, I would also in my curation list on Rednote, I will probably also list some other stuff as well. Not only my own brands, but also other brands as well. Yeah, because the problem with our story is right now on Rednote, we cannot. So our Rednote shop cannot ship our products to Americans. So for there are American friends who want to purchase our products, they have to either go to our TikTok shop or go to our standalone website. They could not place the order directly in our Rednote shop. Okay, that's the problem. So our Rednote shop is currently available for Chinese people only. For American people who wants to shop our products like these beautiful earrings, then you have to go to my TikTok shop and also to this or to this website I just showed to this website I just showed you guys. Yeah, so basically that's the kind of thing. So that's why like for Rednote shop, I will expand the categories and I'm working very closely with Rednote. So because Rednote right now also wants to do their cross-border e-commerce. So I have to speak really highly of the Rednote team. 我必须要说小红书的团队是真的还是非常棒. There's a reason why Rednote could become one of the most successful social media platform here in China. So I have been like working very closely with the Rednote team over the past week, and I have been talking to them about like I gave them lots of suggestions because they recently launched their overseas cross-border e-commerce project, right? And right now, Americans people could also place order on Rednote, right? And somehow, so I provided lots of feedback to Rednote about the kind of things I think they should just adjust. And I also told them, like, as a content creator, what are the things that I need? And also as a brand owner, what are the things that I need? And they actually, you just work on that immediately and gave me feedback on that. And like we work very closely. So for example, next Monday, they will just give me a list of products they want me to help them test and promote. So then, and I would then select inside their list and to see what are the things that I consider to be good myself as well. And I think that that is the kind of product that might have a market, and I will work with them and put those kind of products in my curation list and start to make videos, about those kind of products, something like that. Yeah. But of course, it's still going to be good content, just using the red note kind of way of share with people. Yeah. 小红书还没有海外仓库吧？应该是没有的吧？他们现在应该都是就是一件代发，就是如果有老外在下了单了以后，他们的货直接从中国发到国外，他应该没有设立海外仓这些。而且我觉得他将来如果真的要设真的要做到就是海外仓那个海外直发的话，我觉得他自己应该不会设，大概率就是允许商家可以去做海外仓，然后把东西去发出去。丽贝卡，你也是做这个的吗？Rebecca，are you also doing cross-border e-commerce? Yeah, we started doing cross-border e-commerce. I think like just 2-3 months ago. So we're pretty new in here, but I think we're making really good progress in here right now. Like really good progress, extremely fast progress. So that's why, like I said, I was extremely proud of ourselves, extremely proud of the team. Yeah. So, and also thank you so much, my friends. 啊，今天又忘记一件事情了，今天早上都忘记，真的是这个。Yeah. 嗯、Yeah, and also so you guys, for those of you new in here, just so you know, here is my followers club. This is our family. For those of you who haven't really joined our followers club, join in here, okay? Join in here 啊，没有加粉丝群的宝宝们可以加一下粉丝群啊，我觉得这里边还是有很多很好玩的人呢。So this family is pretty close, and you will notice there are people from literally everywhere and inside chat group. Yeah, right now, for example, when I first started this live stream, there is a friend from Peru. Not so sure he's still in here, but like we literally have people from like all sorts of countries, like the countries that you couldn't really imagine. Yeah. TD is really ramping into sell up into selling now. I've noticed. Yeah, exactly, Steve. You're right about that. So I think like at the end of the day, those kind of companies, they are not nonprofit, they're profit companies, right? So they would have to find all sorts of ways in order to generate cash flow for the companies so that they can expand the business, right? Try different ideas. So that's why like so for those kind of social media platforms like Rednote and also like TikTok, they were actually doing really great when it comes to e-commerce here in China. Okay, so for example, if you're talking about Amazon, right, and also Temu, so they use a very traditional way of e-commerce, which is this is on a website where you showed all sorts of different products and then you place order directly in there. But the kind of logic of Rednote when they started to do e-commerce business is never about just showing you a shop where you just go inside and shop for products and place order. It's more like here in China we call it grow grass, 种草. So what does it mean by grow grass? It's like grow a grass, just plant a seed in your heart. So you saw someone else is sharing something, right? You saw someone making a post sharing about their lifestyle, what kind of healthy kind of living habits they're having, and somehow, like for example, I shared with you guys before this, like I said, what exactly is this, And this is good. I'm not selling it, okay? As announcement first, as a disclaimer, I was not selling it, okay? But somehow like I am someone who are just very willing to share, right? I share with you guys my very healthy kind of lifestyle, right? I say that just massaging yourself is really good, right? Like every morning you do this, you do that. And I also ask people to take a guess, what is it, right? And I also share with you guys before, right? Like something like, oh, there is a long meridian in here. So in the morning time, if it's good to brush your meridian, long meridian, and in the evening, it's good to brush your inner thigh using those kind of brush. And that is the liver meridian. So I like to share. So when you guys start to see me sharing about my lifestyle, you would also want to copy the kind of lifestyle, right? So I share with you guys like, oh, by doing this, it's gonna help, relieve your coughing problems. So say for example, right? So if you have some coughing problems, then you want to copy my, sharing, right? You want to do the very same thing, but you would want to need this. Then that's the moment you want to buy it. Okay. But instead of going to Amazon, going to some other platform and search for it, like really hard, like you need to search for it and find a place, a shop that offers the exact same thing, it's pretty hard. It's pretty tiring, right? So that's why, like, if say for example, I share with you guys about this thing, and there's a link down below where you could just place order directly, And that is here we call like, okay, by sharing a suggestion from myself or by sharing something that is good, you somehow that kind of idea just plant a seed in your heart that you just want to buy it yourself, you would just want to try it yourself, and then you would want to place order. So that's the kind of logic of both, I think both TikTok and also Red Note. 基本上我觉得抖音和这个小红书都是种草逻辑. So that's just a very new way of doing e-commerce, right? Like before, like you would only, it's not like, so it's more like, oh, you probably don't need it, right, in your life. You, it's not like a necessity, but somehow when you saw someone using it, you think that really makes sense, you want, or think things that's very interesting, oh, some really great idea, and you just try to try it yourself, and that's how you're just going to place an order directly, right? So like for, it's not like those kind of traditional way. It's usually like, oh, okay, I'm running out of my running out of salt, running out of shampoo, I need to place an order. Then you would just go to those traditional kind of websites like Amazon, right, and place an order. And there, this is like a whole completely different logic. Ooh, okay, we have over 200 people. Yeah, great, guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please if you haven't done so, and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Okay, 这个没有关注的宝宝关注一下哈。然后在这儿 and here on top of this screen, okay, on red note, if you notice, there is a chat group. This is our family. Okay, this is our family. For those of you in here new, you haven't joined any of my followers groups, this is the place where you can join our family. Okay, don't forget to join this family. Okay, yeah, 场景痛点 exactly. So I was sharing basically, oh my god, we're having over 220 people. I'm so excited at the same time. Yeah, what has the most taps? What do you mean by what has the most taps? Don't quite understand the question, but somehow I was saying that in here right now. So I was saying that so there are like two different ways of doing cross-border, well, not cross-border, doing e-commerce, right? So before it was like, oh, you have an idea or you have to generate the shopping idea yourself, or there's something you need, then you would just go to other websites and place an order. You have to do one thing, which is you have to actively search for something, right? It was not like you browse and you saw someone introduce about this products or someone introduce about their own lifestyle, right? So that's why like nowadays, like for example, there are lots of girls that are 美妆博主, right? They're very pretty themselves and they somehow share share videos about how they're able to do makeups, right? What are the right ways to do makeups? What are the right ways to like do skincare, right? And for guys, and also like they would also share lots of videos. For example, I know like in America, many people have a yard, backyards, right? You guys would do barbecues, right? For example, some people will start to share videos of themselves doing barbecues, and they would teach you what's the techniques of roast a steak in the barbecue. What's it called? 这个 barbecue 的这个东西, yeah. What's it called? This kind of thing, like you would just put your barbecue on it, your steak on it to roast it, using carbon, something like that. What's it called, my friend? Yeah, so grill, yes, a grill, right? Yeah, so when you saw the suggestion, right, then when they are teaching you about all that, like how to do the skincare and also how to grill, right, you also notice like the reason why they're able to do it so well, maybe also because of the tool, right? The tool they use are very, very convenient, very easy to use, and also deliver good results, right? For example, a girl is sharing with you, for example, I share with you multiple times about like how to lift your face, like for girls, like how to lift your face. What are the things you could do? You use a gua sha plate. Ah, 我今天竟然有刮痧板. Yeah, you use a gua sha plate, and by lifting up, by doing this, and by doing this, that's how you're able to lift your face, right? I have done it multiple times. But when seeing the video like this, you will start to wonder, oh, what exactly is the gua sha plate she is using? Yeah, because maybe it's not only because she's doing this, I want to use the exact same thing like she's using, because she has already proved by using this tool, she's able to deliver a very good result, right? Likewise, 刮痧板后的同款号，我觉得就是这不是广告 this is not advertisement, but I do think like those kind of what's it called? 牛角 cow's horn. Those are made using cow's horn, and that's pretty thick. It's not like very thin, it's pretty thick. And when you click it, somehow makes a pretty crystal clear kind of sounds. And also when you touch it, it's pretty smooth. Yeah, 牛角. And those are the gua sha plate that is considered to be the best gua sha plate. Okay, this is not advertisement, my friend. Okay, this is not plastic. It's made like I said using is it cow? Is it cow's horn? 牛角。Yeah, so like those are the most comfortable. I have actually purchased many different types of gua sha plate, and I consider this one to be the best. 这个真的是非常好. Yeah, yeah, and also like before gua sha plate, you do need to have some oil, right? 你需要有一些精油. Yeah, right. And that's also like some people would then share with you what is the 我靠，真的，我之前已经警告过了，就是但凡是打这个什么多少钱多少这个的，我都要踢出房间，好吗？就今天有好多人老是在里面打广告说，我不知道是好多人还是同一个人哈，就是老是说多少钱多少鼠币这样的呀。cow 没有脚吧？对啊，buffalo horn. Yeah, because no matter it's buffalo or it's cow, like here in China, we all call them 牛, basically the same thing. So I'm not so sure about what's it called, right? Anyhow, like for example, like I have shared multiple times that you could do one thing, which is first of all, put some oil in here, right? And then start to ox horn. Oh, okay, yeah, then it's ox horn, right? And start to first of all, warm it up, provide some lubrication, and then you start to scrub it. Oh, actually, you should use some the brush, right, to do it. And it feels like very comfortable, right? Yeah, something like that. And when I start to do it and I show you guys, oh, this is a very healthy routine, then you would want to try it yourself as well, right? And you would want to buy the exact same like oil that I use. Well, I don't recommend this because this is something new I tried, but I just tried it today just now. This is my very first time try this oil, but just tried it. I don't think this is good, so do not recommend this. Okay? Yeah, somehow like you want to buy the exact same thing, the rubber duck massage stick, right? You just want to buy the same thing. So that's how like people would then just place order and then want to, you know, do it. So that's a very new way of that's a very very new way of doing cross-border e-commerce, and that is also why I think there is a huge potential in that. And that is why that starting from 2-3 months ago, like me and my team started working into this area. It is not very easy to do to start from scratch, to be honest. There are many things. I noticed there are lots of people out there who are just basically sharing in their account saying that, oh, you know what, I'm a single person, I single-handed just start up the whole business all by myself, and here's my secret, I tell you, this is no way that a person can start doing cross-border e-commerce just by one person. Okay, cross-border e-commerce is not a like very easy job. Like, well, you could just do it everything by yourself, but it requires lots of time. It requires lots of time if you want to build everything from scratch in a very short period of time. There's no way for just one single person to do everything and like immediately do it very quick, like have zero experience. Just do not believe, okay, Chinese friends, do not believe in those content creators who just share the video and tell you that, oh, you know what, I'm just a single person, I'm a university student, oh, I'm a housewife, and I am able to do cross-border e-commerce, and here's my results, like how much money I have made in the past 1 month, all just by myself. 这个我觉得不是的，这个不是花钱囤货这么简单，就是我们自己从头到尾跑了一遍以后，会发现这里边有太多的细节。There were so many things. It was not easy, especially if you want to do it in those kind of new social media platform. It was never easy. Like there are so many tiny details you have to figure out. 就这个绝对不是，因为我发现有很多视频都是这样的，就是 it was basically like a hook, right? You would all it sounds like they made everything sound so easy, right? Then that's the reason why you would just want to watch it, right? And then somehow it was not easy at all. It was not easy. Like it's not about like spending money to accumulate stuff. It was not like that. It was 对，这些都是一些广告，真的没有这么简单的。So you have to sort out everything. There were so many problems that would happen in the middle if you have no experience. Like there are literally just so many details. There's no way. 我觉得这个绝对不是说什么你那个一个人就能够做的，我真的不觉得。你一个人 maybe 可以去做，但是你真的可能需要花很久的时间。你先把一个问题搞通了以后，你再去搞那一个问题，你可能花1年的时间，你一个人才能把整个流程都跑通，或者半年的时间，你才能够把才能跑通大半个流程。就这个事情，我觉得是至少要几个人来去做的。And according to TikTok's official，它的这个官方来讲的话，他也是说，他说 OK，如果你要把这个东西做的比较的流畅的话，也是真的是需要一个至少3到4个人的团队的。Yeah, at least like 3-4 like people team. yeah, to do everything. So basically, that's the kind of size of our team, right? We do not have a very big team. Overall speaking, right now we have around like 5 people doing it. Yeah, so on this startup project, which is cross-border e-commerce. Yeah, but also because we are a little bit ambitious, we not only just want to do it in one platform, we want to do it across different platforms. So that is why like 5 people is relatively a good size of the team to start up. Yeah, so 去公司先学经验，然后再自己做。这个也可以啊，这个也可以，这个主要取决于你自己。就是我觉得是这样怎么说呢？就创业这个事情是需要有非常强的意志力和这个执行能力的。I think to be an entrepreneur is very important. If you want to be successful, you need both a very, very strong heart, a very strong heart, because like you're literally just facing failure every single day. Like this is the kind of feeling I have. Like ever I started being an entrepreneur myself, like every day is a I'm gonna just face new challenges, obstacles, right? And from time to time, if you are making breakthrough, so very soon you'll start to feel, oh, okay, I find another bottleneck. Like the moment you come out of the bottleneck, like you finally make a breakthrough through, you comes into the next bottleneck. So that's the kind of feeling I have. So you have to be very perseverant. Like no matter what kind of obstacles you face, you have to have the strong belief that I will be the one to overcome everything. Like for sure, I will solve the next bottleneck. I will make the breakthrough. I just believe in myself. Just keep on doing it. So that's why I say like you have to have a very strong heart and also be very, very perseverant. That's how you're able to become, and also self-discipline. Self-discipline is very important. Self-discipline, because by working for myself, like by working for ourselves, like entrepreneurs working for ourselves, right? So like there's nobody out there just chase you to finish this by tomorrow, like chase you that, right? So basically the you have to give pressure to yourself. Like I have to give pressure to myself every day, right? I have to set targets and plans for our team, for myself, and just push myself. Yeah, like self discipline is like very very important. So if you're so this that's also the reason why like many people so they would want to just work in a company because they feel like they don't have this kind of strong the kind of strong self discipline. So okay, if the boss come over and say you have to finish it by what time, then they finish by what time, right? And if they do it themselves, especially like for me, we don't have extra money to rent an office. We don't think we should just waste time and money to rent a very big office, have lots of people in there. So we basically just rent a very, very tiny office whenever we need. We just go to the office. If not, then we just don't use the office at all. So most of us just basically work from home and we spend the time with our laptop. And there are so many things in your home that could just attract your attention, right? You could choose to spend the entire day in front of your laptop just working, or you could just spend the day lying in sofa, lying in bed, playing with your phone and watching television, right? So that's like the thing. So you do need to have a very, like I said, a very strong heart, be extremely perseverant, and also like self-discipline. So I feel like the reason why we're able to build a business so quickly, literally, this is no joke. Okay, we started this cross-border e-commerce is 这个品牌吧, like from scratch, like knowing nothing, and none of us have done it before. Okay, none of us has any knowledge of doing it before, so we started everything from scratch from like 3 months ago, and we were now able to just basically run through the entire process. And just be honest with you, it was not easy at all. Every step we walked, we faced obstacles. 基本上走的每一步都遇到问题了，真的每一步都是问题，就是它真的没有很简单。So that's why I can 这个拍着胸脯说，就是这个绝对不是什么像那些博主讲的说啊，一个人大学生在家怎么样就能做完了什么。It's not never like that. Yeah. If you can last 5 years, then maybe can be successful. Exactly, Mark. So that's my theory. So, you could choose to work in a company. You could also choose to be an entrepreneur, right? If you consider, like for me, I think if I consider myself to be an entrepreneur material, I just give myself, for example, 10 years of time, or in Mark's words, 5 years time, right? Okay, maybe 10 years time is a little better, right? So at the very beginning, as an entrepreneur, maybe I would earn a lot less than those people who work in big companies who are equally excellent, but they choose to work in big company. And at my age, they probably have already reached a pretty high senior ranking, and they were able to earn a big salary, right? But for me, I'm just doing my own startup business. I'm an entrepreneur. So that's why at the very beginning, I probably was just making a little money and they're already making a lot of money, right? But if you look at 10 years, 5 years or 10 years of time, it's not a small, quick race. It's a long distance race. Okay. It's a long distance race. Eventually, if give like 10 years time, I walk, I work in my field on my own startup and I can do everything like I'm doing right now. Given 10 years time, I'm pretty sure compared to this version of me, I could achieve way, way, way more. Yeah, as a matter of fact, like for me right now, like I together with my other partners, we all have the very same feeling that compared to back then when we were working for those large companies, right now, like when we start to do startup ourselves, like every single day, we're learning like way, 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 way more than working for large companies. Yeah, so that's like for sure, like because it was the kind of pressure was not the same because right back then you only need to finish the kind of task you were assigned to, but right now it was like you have to figure out. Nobody's going to tell you what are the right things to do. Back then in a company, large company, people will tell you these are the right thing you should do, so you do not need to think. All you need to do is execution, right? There are plenty of successful experience before you just learn from others and just do it. And if you're able to do it better than others, that's how you're able to excel, and then how you're able to earn extra more money than others, right? But when you start up your business, nobody tells you how to do it, so you do need to figure out what's the right way of doing it, and that is like way, way, way more difficult. Constantly thinking and constantly trying, and never able to just how to say, never able to just never just give up because you are faced with an obstacle. So that's why I say like we were able to train our strong heart, and we were able to train our perseverance, and also train our self-discipline, and definitely have extremely steep learning curve compared to working for a large company. Okay, extremely definitely had way, 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 way more steeper learning curve compared to before working for a large company. So that's why, like, eventually, like, given 10 years of time, if there was like two version of me, like in two parallel space, okay, 如果在这个平行空间两个我, one version of me just decided to work in a large conglomerate, large bracket company, and one version of me decided to be like this right now, like doing startup business and being an entrepreneur. Given 10 years of time, I'm 100% sure this version of me will just go a lot higher than this version of me. So that is why like I'm doing it. You're working for yourself, not for anyone else. Exactly. Yeah. So okay, it's 9:30 a.m. China time. Yesterday, especially, there are people just coming in and asking me, "What are you selling?" Right? To be honest, like basically selling nothing, right? Like only like spending very tiny a bit of time to advertising about my own accessory brand. But the major purpose of this live stream is about just sharing, nothing about advertisement at this moment, right? So that's why, able to do something literally just out of passion, and be very perseverant and get up very early in the morning and start live stream at 7:30 a.m. China time, and have been doing it since the end of January till now. Was no easy job. So guys, that's why like you need to follow me if you haven't followed me. Okay, so I will keep on doing it, and thank you so much again for supporting me coming to the live stream, and you guys are the whole reason why I can keep on doing it. Okay, so thank you again, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. There will be no live stream tomorrow. I will take one day off for a week, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend, my friend.